Welcome back to the Weather Crew. In this update, we're going to be tracking this very large bomb cyclone going up the East Coast. Very impressive satellite imagery. Already, a lot of people dealing with the big impacts with very heavy rain and strong winds. And the rainfall rates are starting to pick up in my area. We are now at over a half an inch, but we're starting to see that number go up quicker than it did in the last few hours. We got strong winds in this starting to show, but this is a very powerful nor'easter now. You can tell where the low is exactly right here where I just made the L. There's all that precip coming on shore, wrapping around this low pressure and coming through that. But we got a lot of moisture to continue with and deal with for the Northeast and Mid Atlantic, and it's just going to continue to wrap, and those winds are just going to get stronger and stronger. So, a lot of wind, a lot of rain with this, and yes, that rainfall is definitely going up. Is I'm watching my rain gauge just start going up pretty fast now. Has went up by like a tenth of an inch in just like 10-20 minutes. So it's definitely starting to pick up, maybe even less than that time. But there's that storm, very large, circling back with the winds. But this is a very organized nor'easter, expected to just continue to ride the coast and the interior coast and just continue to cause problems. All right. We look at the long wave view of if these thunderstorms are building, shrinking, what is going on with the rainfall rates, and what is really going on. But I just actually got an alert in New England, in Mass, that it was some lightning. So it's some lightning in these heavier downpours with those gusty winds. But that convection definitely picking up and continuing to come off the Atlantic coast, and that will be continuing to be expected. So now we go into radar, and let me just update this. I want to update the wind on this. So we're going to look at the winds first. I know usually we should be looking at the radar, but for now we're just going to be looking at that. But there is that wind definitely going up now in Philadelphia, starting to get into that wind line. But look how this wind in each frame just going more north and impacting more the interior coast. That is expected. But in the last hour, this line has really moved its way north. If we just go back at like 7:20, this line was all the way back here. I mean, New Jersey wasn't really dealing with wind, or Philly. And you go from 7:20 to pretty much 8:30 or 9 o'clock, however you want to say it. There it is. That wind just continues to move interior of the Northeast along the coast, already dealing with 40 to 50 miles an hour, potentially up to even 60 miles an hour in the Outer Banks area. But these are some strong winds really starting to impact these areas. And I do expect the winds to continue to go up and continue to cause major problems. All right. So now we're going to take a look at radar quickly. Let's look at this beauty of the radar. Okay, so that's loading, and wow. So yes, it is definitely coming down in my area, the Allentown, Eastern PA, Western New Jersey. That those rain bands are definitely beginning to pick up, not as much as is Reading, just west, like in Harrisburg, York, Chambersburg, Hagerstown, north of Frederick, and south of Frederick, like Washington, Baltimore, and all these yellows and oranges. But Winchester, just west of that, this whole band has been producing some very heavy rain and probably some gustier winds. Maybe not really gusty, but wouldn't even rule out some gusty winds in it. But been moving pretty good. The main bulk of this is gonna be after midnight, where the heavier rains really do pick up. But this is that whole storm just continuing to slam the Northeast. I mean, this is gonna be a long event into tomorrow. The low, like I said, all the way south near Myrtle's Beach, you guys. That is the low pressure of the eye of the center, just off the coast, gathering strength, getting those winds stronger, but not too much moisture near it. More of your moisture on that northern side that is expected. So, very major impacts in this, and I would like you guys to stay tuned and be careful. So, now we're going to take a look at some of the 0Z mesoscale model runs, and we're going to take a nice look. Let's take a look at this is about right now. So this is let me blah blah blah. Let's do that. Maybe we should look on here with the rain because it's probably going to be better to tell where the heavier rain bands are. We'll use that map for the wind. All right. This is only 5 hours out, but we look at the 0Z. I mean, yes, very heavy rain continues to slam the Northeast. Definitely later in the night, that low will continue to move inland and stuff like that. But I mean, Northeast and everywhere, seeing that heavy rain, your total rainfall is going to be quite strong. Another 3 to maybe 4 inches, maybe even 5, 6 inches, in spots with the hurt of this run. Very impressive rainfall totals out of the her model. Right now, if this rain just continues to come down like this, I mean, that's definitely going to be possible because that rain, I mean, we are already almost at 7/10 of an inch of rain. But wow, we look at the NAM, and I mean, that just gets worse and worse. That bulk and then that line, I mean, this thing rides the East Coast and then just slams as a 978 millibar low pressure. My bad. Rain definitely a lot more lighter, but still another 2 to 4 inches, maybe up to 6 more inches in some spots. Some of this rain, like I said, this is what to come. Already, some of the rain has fallen, but this is what's to come. At least over another 2 inches of rain, so you have to add that in. Um, a very impressive storm by all mean. Let's go look at the wind gusts on these two models. Pretty impressive, probably. You know, you look at this. Yeah, it does get quite windy up to that. You know, especially along the coast, only gets windier. I think the winds are probably even stronger than the her model right now than it says. But expected for this gusty winds, even that backside at 40, 50 miles an hour. But very impressive along the East Coast, maybe up to 60 to 70 miles an hour with the her model. The NAM probably a bit more aggressive. Wouldn't rule out, but this one might be very close to right because this is already starting to blend in. But wow, very strong winds. Like I said, maybe up to 30 to 50 miles an hour already on the coast when we looked at the wind map. We'll take a look at the radar and wind map then, but look how far this even moves, like up to maybe 60 miles an hour in some spots in New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, southeastern New York, all of New England dealing with that 60 plus. Rhode Island, coastal Mass, potential to hurricane force winds, and that backside, once again, 30 to 40 with gusts up to 50 miles an hour. So a very big windstorm with all that rain. All right. So big problems to be expect. We look at the rat model. Let's just look at the rainfall totals for that. Why not? Yeah, definitely heavy there. Another 2 to 4 inches, maybe higher. In some, yeah, about 2 to pretty much 3 to 5 inches, I'll say. Another. Wow, that rainfall is definitely going up. I just saw that it went from 0.66 to 0.6 to 7, then 0.68 in just matters of seconds. So that rain is really starting to measure now. And I do expect this being by an inch, maybe by 10 or maybe by 11 o'clock, an inch or so. Depends on the heavier rain. The more rain falls before that wind comes, definitely going to cause more of that potential power outages. Is going to be very possible in this. So let's take a look at the 18Z Euro for fun. All right. I think the Euro did an absolutely great job again. I mean, hammering home like always. Really don't make mistakes. The Euro has been really good with this storm. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Rainfall, like I said, maybe another 2 to 4 inches. Some spots locally to 6. Just depends with those bands. Like we just saw in South Carolina in my last video, seeing up to 10 inches plus. That was on the model, but that was very impressive, I would honestly say. So we continue to let's look at past 24 hours of rain in some others. I do not know if it's a website. I remember using a website, but I haven't used. Maybe it's this. I mean, iWeatherNet. I could potentially use this. I don't know if it's gonna work though. But we are actually. I did use this before. This is usually what I actually use. So that's why. Why not? Let's take a look at it. Like I said in Florida, yeah, up to 5 to pretty much 8 inches. It's 72 hours. I want. Oh, yeah, and this is that last 12 hours. This was radar estimate up to over a foot of rain. Raleigh, about 3 to 5 inches. And these areas are already dealing up to that 0 point that in the last hour. 12 hours. Yeah, very intense rain. Very impressive with the rainfall right there. I mean, that's up to 15 inches of rain. We'll see if that comes true, even in for Florida. Dealing with that 5 to 6 inches, maybe it's even 8 inches in some spots. So that's pretty impressive with the rainfall. There's the radar scan just updated again. And yeah, that rain just continues to slam my area. Just not as heavy as like Harrisburg. They've been absolutely getting it going, but still enough heavy rain to cause that at least tenth of an inch in 20 minutes. So if you really think about it, it's pretty impressive. I do expect that heavier rainfall to take over, but into then, it's gonna be a gradual rate of the rain. And now we just hit 7/10 of an inch. So we're just 3/10 away from an inch of rain. Looking at it. So pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, the wider it is, you know, the more impacts. Let's take a look at. The wind speed on this is very let's actually I haven't even looked at it in the last since I last checked with y'all with it. Yeah, oh wow, definitely. Oh wow. That is now in southern PA, you guys, that wind line. It's very impressive. If this is going to load. Let's just re-update that. But I'm looking on my phone with that radar, and wow. That's now in Philly. You know, those winds along the coast. is only picking up. But wow, very impressive wind. Really starting. I mean, that's just north of Philly. Now we're entering near like Randor, Westchester. Oh, whoa, whoa! New update on the map with that rainfall. We need to. Whoa, okay. Let's actually be careful now because this band, it's now that band is starting to stretch into Allentown with those yellows, and that's going to be coming up in my region. Harrisburg getting hammered with those heavy rainfall. Wow, very impressive. I mean, one radar scan, and I mean, these yellows and oranges just really pop. So let's take this carefully because I continue to see this trend with these bands getting stronger as they continue to move north. That's expected, but we need to be careful because you do not want flooding. They might be putting some flood warnings here soon because Harrisburg and that band has been pretty strong lately in the last hour or so. Um, let's take a look at that wind. Like I said. Yeah, I just went from 0.70 to 0.72. So it's definitely coming down. And it's possible we do reach an inch of rain by 9. I mean, 10 o'clock. Maybe even over that. It just depends how heavy the rainfall comes. And this is loading. I do not know why the wind map of this is just not working. Oh, wow. Yep. But I just had it. Yep, there's that wind line. We were just talking before, and we both know that wind line was not there. I mean, look at that. That's just crazy. That wind line is creeping its way, and that's not a good thing. The quicker these winds come, the heavier that rainfall comes, the conditions are only going to deteriorate. But we'll continue to watch that. That wind is now in Philadelphia, just north of Philly, where those winds are definitely going to be picking up. So the quicker these winds come, the stronger they do have a shot to be. Um, very impressive. Very impressive. And oh, new run, just wow. That band just became a monster band. Oh wow, that heavy rain. Oh my god, you guys. It is pouring outside. I do not know if the radar updated on here, but it is. Whoa, oh no, that wind too. Everything's updating, and that wind just got even larger. Wow, that is crazy. The wind continuing to march its way north, but that radar, I do not know if it's, yeah, it's dead. This is definitely behind because it is pouring now. It is pouring, according to this radar, with the oranges, even reds on this map. That band really came out of nowhere, and it has a lot of extra moisture really starting to seep in. So we'll see how this rain gauge goes, but the beginning of a very not so good storm now, bringing the impacts. And those winds are going to be picking up too. So let's be careful, but I'm going to let you guys go probably. See you guys in the next video. I might post another one a little later tonight. It just depends how quickly this one posts. So have a great night and see you tomorrow or later tonight. Bye.